welcome to my YouTube channel. Victoria here. This is a tutorial about a Batwing setter like I promised. What we are going to do, I'm using a Brother KH 280. It's the chunky one, also called the punch 9. So if you have any chunky knitting machine, this pattern will be good. So we are going to get started building up this sweater. It's going to be like this. You start with the sleeves and then you build up the body, and then you end up with the sleeve up, and then you put the rib, the rib you start with in the waist. So it's a build. You build it, you knit it up as you build the body. Increases, then a straight side. So one side you knit straight as you do increases on another side. So what we are going to start with are 16 needles. You pull them all out at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that one goes back. So that's 16 needles. You are going to knit 15 rows on them, but you start by casting on using the E-wrap method, one by one. Sorry, all out, because I'm going to do a mock rib for this. It's not a one by one. This is what I'm going to do. I've already done other parts. I'm showing you how this is. So this is basically what I'm going to do, just creating a mock rib. So I'll knit 15 rows in tension 9. I don't know when machine always gets hard on the first. Sorry, it's hard on the first knit, but anyway, after that it's smooth. So 15. So I will undo. This is how you create the mock rib. You undo the second stitch from the end. I find this better with a chunky machine. So if you don't have a chunky machine, you can gauge your measurements with a tape measure and you find a way of transferring. You can use a full rib and not necessarily a mock rib. It may not come out well unless if you have a rebar. If you have a rebar, you can just start with a few rows on waist yarn, and then you knit the body, and then after you transfer to the rebar, and then you create your sleeves, your band with a rebar, which will be better. But now I don't have a rebar and I'm using the chunky knitting machine, so this is how I'm creating this. I skipped a needle. Then I'm working on the pulse side, and then I create the knits. So you just create it with your latch hook. You knit as usual with your latch hook. Loop and pull through, loop and pull through. You loop and you pull through, and then after you feed it into your needle. Skip one, go to the next, undo the stitches up to the end, and then you knit. Loop and knit, loop and knit. So in this way you're creating a mock rib for your sleeve band. So I'm going to do this across this whole sleeve, and then we start on the body. Thank you so much for each one of you subscribed to my channel. I do appreciate. Thank you so much for liking this content. Share in your knitting groups the videos. Let's learn from each other. I love knitting. I picked it up as a hobby. It's now a business. So knitting is really fun. Share with your friends. Like this video. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. If you're wondering which yarn I'm using the usual bean, chunky. But whichever yarn you use in your knitting machine, the chunky one, I believe it will really work, as long as it's not so chunky for your knitting machine to pass through. And you have to get your measurements right as well. I usually get my measurements offhand, or I look at a person and I gauge their sizes, or sometimes I use a tape measure and then I transfer the inches onto the needles. I have a video for how to transfer your tape measurements into your knitting needles, into your knitting machine, so it can guide you how many rows. However, I only have it for the small knitting machine, not this chunky one. Yeah, I haven't done it for the chunky one, but I believe it's all the same. Where 1 inch stops, that is 1 inch, and those I think could be like 3 needles for the 1 inch for a chunky. So you can use the same and you try it out for a chunky machine. Yes, so you can do that and enjoy your knitting. My apologies, this video has taken long from the time I posted on the community posts. I got so many client orders and I really failed to get time to do this tutorial. However, now here it is. So after doing this, for the last one, I am not going to join the rib. It's just going to be like that because there are only 2 needles remaining, so I'll just go with that. Now this is from needle point 40 to needle point 40 that we are going to build the whole body of the sweater. So what we are going to do, we are going to knit 2 rows and then increase 1 needle. We are going to do that 11 times. This is how. 1, 2, and then an increase. 1, 2, increase. So we are going to do that 11 times. So here so far it's 2 times. If you notice, I'm increasing only on one side because the other side, if you look at this image, it's straight up. So I'm increasing on this side only. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is the 11th part. I'm done with the increases. So now what I'm going to start doing is knit 6 rows and then increase 1 needle. I've increased 1 needle. I'm going to knit 6 rows and then I increase 1 needle 4 times. So that is the increase. Now I first did an increase of 2 rows after 2 rows 1 needle 11 times. Then the second increase was 6 rows 4 times. Increase 1 needle after 6 rows 4 times. So now the next increase is 1 needle 1 row, 1 needle 1 row, 1 needle 1 row, 1 needle 1 row. So I'm going to do this across up to the needle point 40 here. 1 needle 1 row. So this is needle point 40 here. Now I'm going to knit 20 rows straight, and then I put my stitch marker for shaping the neck area. So this is 20 rows. I'll use a thread for a stitch marker. Just put here in this very row. Then I'm going to knit 100 needles straight up as well. So I've knitted 100 from this stitch marker here up to here. So I'm also going to put a stitch marker. Then knit 20 rows. So after the 20 rows, I'm going to start the reductions. Remember, we're doing increases of these increases. They were 1 needle 1 row, so it's going to be as getting this. So we are going to do decreases of pick 1 needle, transfer from 1 needle to the next. Knit 1 row. Do the same. So we are going to do those decreases up to the point where here we have 16, and here we did the decreases of 4 times, and then also up to that point, because we have to do those decreases up to that point. Let me first count. So from on my count here, I'm going to do these reductions up to my needle point here on the needle bed 10, point number 10. So I'm going to do those decreases up to the point when I get here, and then I do the decreases of after 6 rows, and then the decreases of after 2 rows, and then do the band. So after 1 row, I'll do the decrease. So I'm at needle point 10, where we did the decrease of after 1 row, from 40 up to here, the reductions. Now I'm going to knit 6 rows, and then I reduce 1 row 4 times. So I'm doing the opposite of what I did earlier, so that's basically what I'm doing. This is the 4th needle. So now I'm going to reduce after 2 rows, knit 2 rows, reduce, knit 2 rows, reduce. That's going to be 11 times. So I'm going to do that up to this point. So I'm doing reductions until I have 16 needles. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I'm remaining with these 3. So now I have my 16 needles. So to make sure that because now I'm going to create the rib. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put here a stitch marker, top as my starting point. Then I'm going to knit 15 rows straight. So in the same way I did the mock rib at the beginning, it's what I'm going to do. I reduce up to 15. And then knit back. So after undoing, then I knit back the same way I started at the beginning. But if you have a ribber, like I told you, you just knit up, you just do, you knit a few rows in the waist yarn, and then you transfer it when you set up your ribber. So I'm just going to undo until I finish here for the rib, and then I'll come back when we are done and see how we can join up two parts of the sweater. So first do your first part from this side being straight, and then the other side also. When you're done with this front part or back part, then the other one you start when this other side of the right is straight up, so that you don't do them when they are all the same. This side straight up and another one when this side is straight up, so that you can join them together. So go on, finish your parts, and then you can join them together. So now at this point we are going to create the lower rib. If you look at this first part, so we are creating this lower rib here. So what you're going to do is put back this whole work, my whole work on the lower side, back onto the machine, and then knit 1 row. Okay, knit 15 rows, and then do the mock rib as well, the one we used for the sleeves. So it's basically what I'm doing here. I'm putting back all the work onto the machine, and then knit 15 rows. You can do more than 15, you can do 20, but I wanted to maintain the 15 rows, so I knitted 15 rows and then created that mock rib again. So after knitting my 15 rows, I'm going to undo this, the second needle, and then I redo it again to create the 1 by 1 mock rib. So I'm going to do this across this, and then we join the 2 parts together. So go on ahead, do that, and let's meet when you are done with this and we join the parts together. So you can see I'm done with the ribbing, the 1 by 1. So what I'm going to do, without knitting any row, I'm just going to cast off straight, and then after casting off, I'm going to join the 2 parts to form the sweater. So when you are done with your 2 parts, join them up. So right now I'm just casting off the lower part I've been ribbing. So now I'm trying to put this up together and see how I can join both. The sleeve, right from the sleeve, I'm going to start from the sleeve area and go down to the side, finish this part, do the same here, then I come up for the neck area, this here. So you can just use a blind stitch. I pick up a stitch right at this edge. I hope you can see that. Then join with this point. So just go on ahead and join this. You can use a sewing machine if you prefer to. I prefer using mine with a thread, joining it all through, but this is according to your preference. So just join your sweater. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I'll meet you when we are done with joining the sweater all through. So you join the sleeve up to here, then join the other part, and remember where your stitch markers are for the neck area, and you stop there. You just join this here and also this part here. This is for the neck area. I was thinking of doing a single crochet around for the neck area so that it's not folded like this. So Go on ahead and do that. Consider subscribing. I'll show you when I'm done with the joining. All right. So this is how the sweater has turned out to be. So you can like, share, give me your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the video, and we shall meet next time. Bye bye.